yellow is because the bilirubin has started accumulating in the system. So your eyes and all these things will start turning yellow. The skin can also start turning yellow. There's fatigue, there's tiredness, there's a lack of appetite. You're not able to eat anything. There's no hunger, and all these things when you feel, you may even feel liver enlargement.
Hi guys, this is Meena Divan and you're watching TheHealthSite.com. Today we have with us Dr. Anita Suryanarayan M.D. Vice President and Quality Assurance, South SBO, Metropolis Healthcare Ltd. Liver health is really important, in fact, much more important than we realize at times. And to begin with, let's understand why, a healthy liver, or why functioning of a healthy liver is so important. And, what, in retrospect, what are the consequences if it's not healthy? Let's begin with that.
Right. So liver is an organ. It's an organ like the heart and other parts of the body which are there. And this is an organ which has basically got two functions. So one function is when it is producing something. So it's also a producer of things, and it's a manufacturer basically, if you look at it that way. The other part, it is doing a garbage disposal. It's also a disposal. So if your liver is not good, you would run into issues with the production of certain things like prothrombin and vitamin K metabolizes and things like that. And if its breakdown is not good and it's not functioning, all the toxic elements will accumulate in the body. And when the toxic elements start accumulating in the body, then it will affect all the organs and it can lead to a multi-organ failure which can be there. And that is why people don't understand. They say a liver is only alcohol dependent. Actually, that's not so. If your liver is healthy, you could be sure that everything else is also going to work fine.
Also, having said that, doctor, if one needs to identify or understand with regards to if there is anything wrong with my liver or not, so what are the first signs or perhaps early symptoms of liver damage?
So the first things which happen, and if people have had jaundice, they would require, understand that you get yellowness. Yellow is because the bilirubin has started accumulating in the system. So your eyes and all these things will start turning yellow. The skin can also start turning yellow. Itchiness will happen, because these bile salts get deposited below the skin. Itchiness will be there, and particularly, at the lower, legs and extremities, it becomes very hard. The urine becomes yellow colored. Not in all jaundice, but quite a lot of it will become yellow colored. So basically, where there is going to be accumulation of bile and the yellowness will happen, one will be able to pick it up very well. So there are other things also which can happen. You could have fatigue, so you get very tired because naturally one is not able to have that energy to do stuff. So there's fatigue, there's tiredness, there's lack of appetite. You're not able to eat anything. There's no hunger, and all these things when you feel, you may even feel liver enlargement. Because it is just below the rib margin and could even feel that enlarged also. And if you go to a doctor checkup and say, what is wrong with me? Just put a hand there and say, just do your liver function test. And you do your urine analysis, and that it will give you an indication of how bad your liver has been. Because nowadays they do a scan also. So they do an ultrasound, they do a scan, which also gives a good indication. See, earlier on there was not so much of scans, so people used to do palpation and all that thing. But now you can have a scan which will let you know the extent to which the liver has been affected and whether it has developed any nodules, what we call as cirrhosis. That's the second and third phase which happens. So these tests are very easily available. I mean, they're there. It's just a blood prick, just collection. And then if there is infection, then you would like to know what is the reason behind it. So we would go ahead and probably do something like a viral markers, the hepatitis A, B, which will let you know. So if it's A, you really don't worry much about it because it's a self-limiting thing. But if it's B and C, then you have to watch the prognosis very carefully because those are the danger ones and they need to be monitored very regularly, so you keep a watch. And that's why we also say one of the preventive things one can do is take a hepatitis B vaccine. And these have been very, very effective. You take them in 3 doses. 1 dose at 0, 1 month, and 6 months, and they're really very effective. And then you can do your titer measurement. So they are very effective. These vaccination. That is a must.
Apart from
if anybody's traveled abroad, if anybody's been traveling abroad, they will find that there will be, for studies perfectly, they will be looking at it and seeing whether you have been vaccinated, which day you were vaccinated. So these things are very important to prevent. As I said, this is one of the prevention things which are there.
That's true. That's true. And having said that, apart from this, are there any other perhaps available treatments which makes it easier?
Treatments are, you do give globulin, so you will give like what we were giving for the COVID virus also. So you will give which gives you that fighting power that can be given in the case of any other things. You do like other viruses, so those things can be given. People do use, there's that liver, some medicine which is there, which helps to detoxify it, but I don't know how good that is. And you can give all these things which should flush it out, drink a lot of water. So all these are there. Medicines that said you don't want to load it unless it's an infection, because remember, it's the liver who's going to metabolize. If your liver is affected and you give a lot of medicines, you're going to put an extra strain on it. So we do give gamma globulins. They are the ones which increases the immunity against the virus, and that helps to take care of it. Yeah.
All right, doctor. I think this has been very, very insightful. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you so much. It's been so easy to talk to you.
Same
so
here.
It's been
Thanks
a true pleasure, and I've really enjoyed talking to you. And anytime, please feel free to contact if you need anything. I'm always
Definitely.
Thanks a ton.
Pleasure, ma'am. Thanks a lot.